So for people coming on, we're kind of entertaining the question, what is alive for you right now in your direct experience? And be very fine-tuned with what's happening now. Be super aware to hear, to take that in, to understand the question, to go in and answer that question or find some kind of responding to it. What is alive for you right now in your direct experience? So, what needs to happen to your attention? Yeah. And I guess since I said it, what's alive for me is this thinking of it as a miracle. It is a miracle that here we are in this moment, in time, but also out of time. All over the world, people here from all over the world. Yeah, maybe not all over, but many different places, not just America. So really be alive with what's alive for you. Like really let it be here with no reservation, with full allowing. Whatever is here alive for you right now. So if you're here, you probably have some interest in what it means to awakening to your true nature. And not really what it means, but the actual experience of awakening out of the dream of separation, out of the dream of believing that who you are is your separate self. Like we look at the screen, we see these, this person and that person, and she looks like that, and he's like that. And it's a beautiful array of forms here. It's amazing. And beneath that, so beneath meaning it's not really beneath, it's like at the source of that, if we go deeper into the appearance of all of these different forms that we may be quite attached to, like, oh, I look good today, or oh, I need to fix my background, or, it's all kind of, personal. And beyond the attention to these personal forms is the space in which all of these arise. So there's this being aware experience, presence. It's hard to really give it the right word because it's not defined by language. It can only be known by direct experience. So if your eyes aren't closed and you'd like to, just feel free to go ahead and close your eyes and just to take away some of the visual stimulation. It's a support. There's nothing special about closing our eyes. In fact, you're welcome to keep your eyes open during meditation. It's a good practice sometimes, actually. So if it feels right for you, just to remove some of those visual objects, it makes it a little easier to tune in to what is left when you take away the visual. And see now what is alive for you in your direct experience. And taking in, including that you are in a field of people doing the same investigation right now. So, in the spiritual path, it tends to feel singular and solo. We come to groups, but then it's like we have to do it alone. And there's a certain truth to that, of course. And the support of others on this path is hugely helpful. We all bring something juicy here and we learn from each other. We give and we get. And then there's no giving and getting. We just are here in this beingness together. And even to speak like that, that we're here together and we've gathered and we're on the same path together, there's that is in the realm of separation. And sometimes speaking about that is a support. And it's a support to the realization of the deepest truth, which is that the only thing that's actually true in this moment is this awareness, this aware being aware. It's given, everything is given. In the truth of it, nothing is personal. Nothing is personal. It's a big statement to contemplate. The way you look isn't personal. Even the choices that you've made, it feels personal, and I get that. And that's, that's to be honored as well. It's part of the human life. In the end, everything is given. And in some very, I'm not sure what the word is, but some of the Advaita teachings then go, well, there's nothing to do. And that's true in the absolute ultimate sense, there's nothing to do. But we live as humans here, and we can enjoy life. We can recognize when things feel off in our experience and investigate that. But even it's this paradox that doesn't really go together logically. But even all of that is given. It's play in the world of forms. So the mind, if you're trying to figure out with your mind, how do I choose when there's no separate self? There's no logical answer to that. And a question like that, to answer it, you need to go to your direct experience and experience what is here about that. That's knowing beyond the mind, knowing beyond the personal. So if you're trying to figure out how to not take things personally with your mind, you're going to reach a dead end. You're going to reach a limit. It can take you part way, but you're going to reach a limit. And that limit is the belief in the separate self, because the separate self is always going to take something personally. That's what it does. We have beliefs about what people should do and how we should be treated, and then we feel hurt when something happens. All of that is in the realm of the separate self, and it's not fixable there. So you can think of it as a process of shedding, like recognizing the ways that we get caught, the patterns that arise, and then the shedding of them to reveal the impersonal, infinitely open space of being aware. It's pure. And standing here in this, somebody says something hurtful and it doesn't have any meaning at all. It's no different than a bird flying across the sky. It's just a movement of life. And there's nothing personal inside for it to get hooked to. So for you to take something personally or be hurt by something someone says, there has to be a hook in you that believes in the personal separate self. And this is not in any way, any kind of criticism, or there's no should in it. I shouldn't be like that. It's a accurate description of what's happening. And an invitation to begin to contemplate, maybe that isn't who I am. Things happen in life like, I don't know, like popcorn. This pops, this happens, that happens. And if we're the space that all of that arises in, it doesn't matter what pops up. There's no personal attachment. And I'm speaking now about the absolute nature of reality. It doesn't matter what object arises, being rooted in this open spaciousness, it doesn't matter. It's not concerned, it's not touched by anything that arises. So drink in this silence. And from here, from this open space, just explore this idea of something personal, taking things personally, how you get hurt when something happens, someone says something, hurt, bothered, frustrated, any of those, angry. It's an inner reaction that arises. And just to be very clear about that, for me, the reaction happens. Something happened recently, and I said to myself, I could be hurt about this if I wanted to be. Like I felt that potential to be hurt by what someone said. I also saw it wasn't even that conscious, but I just didn't go there. I knew I didn't need to go there. There was another choice available, let's say. So I felt that potential for the hurt inside. And I guess this deeper understanding came forth. And it just didn't develop into anything. So it's not that we don't feel hurt or that the troubling thoughts don't come or there's, it's not getting rid of any objects. No, that's not our business. And that's where the spiritual path gives rise to the separate self. I need to get rid of the pesky thoughts and feelings. I shouldn't feel the way I feel. I shouldn't react the way I just reacted. That's more expression of the separate self. But that's all more popcorn happening. It's just the mind saying, oh, this should be different. And awareness is here, present, alive, completely untouched. There's a quote by Nisargadatta that someone asked him if he ever gets triggered. And he said, yes, he sees it on the horizon, but he doesn't touch it. It just doesn't mean anything. And if something arises, like someone says something to you that bothers you, then it actually bothers you, and there's something to look at there. That's an opportunity to investigate deeply. Like, what is happening here? How did that hook happen? And this is right at the intersection of knowing, aware, being rooted in consciousness, and living in the human life. And again, no shoulds. Oh, I shouldn't have had that reaction. If I were really awake, I wouldn't have had that reaction. That's really unhelpful. And it's the mind speaking from some kind of picture it has about what awakening is like. And the mind doesn't know. So just really kind of swim in all of this, the staying with awareness, the noticing of reactions, the attachments, the shedding. Like a question to ask if you feel hurt by someone is, do I really have to be, like, go deeper? That's an opportunity. Like, do I really have to be hurt here? Can I stand in this open, formless awareness that I am? And not as like pretending to or faking it, but can I really just say, oh, I don't need to be hurt right now by this? I have another option. So feel the breath in your body. Just feel the breath move. So that means bringing your attention to the objects, the movement, the sensations in the breath. Feel yourself grounded here in this moment here. And to really be grounded here, it means not paying attention to thoughts that take you into the past or the future. Not that they shouldn't be here, but that you just, there again, the bird flying across the sky, a thought about the future. Consciousness says, oh, okay, there that is. That's all. Hello, thought. Hello, feeling. And that's it. So when it feels right for you, you can soften your gaze as you look down and open your eyes. Stay connected within as much as that's possible for you.